Warriors play host to Shaquille O'Neal and the Orlando Magic. Hello again, everybody. Steve Albert along with Jim Barnett. Welcome to another edition of Warriors basketball here on Sports Channel. You're probably wondering how I got my voice to do that. I did that tease underwater, Jim. That was a Jacques Cousteau tease.
That explains it.
Thank you very much. The Warriors off the 116-107 victory in Dallas over the Mavericks on Saturday night. Ball club that had snapped a 7-game losing streak on the road. Tonight they're going for 9 straight at home. And the playoff drive, the stretch begins in earnest now with 18 left.
Yeah, they've got to really take care of business here at home. It was nice to win at Dallas. Had a game at Houston that they could have won, but they stayed in the game. But you come back home, they've won 8 in a row. In fact, they've won 15 of the last 17. And really, you want to drive 18 games to go. You really want things to work out. Don Nelson has closed the practices, so the guys are focused.
The big story, of course, in Dallas was Chris Gatling. In fact, he was so good, Jim, that Chris Webber didn't play in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, I mean, Gatling doesn't take a lot of minutes to put up a lot of points. He tied his career high with 15 rebounds in that game. Over the last 2, you can see just about half a game, but he's averaging over 20 points. And look at his field goal percentage, 17 for 20. That's 85%. I mean, he is very, very versatile. And I like the shot blocking. He just seems to be a lot more active. He's playing with a lot more confidence. You can really tell that this year.
All right, let's talk about the opposition tonight for the Warriors, the Orlando Magic. 4th overall in the East, yet in the month of March, not playing that well. They're 6-6, but one guy who has been playing stupendously since the All-Star break is Shaquille O'Neal.
Well, Shaquille O'Neal has been putting up numbers like Wilt Chamberlain. The reason I say that, Wilt just walked by, and he can take your eyes off of Shaquille O'Neal. But yeah, since the All-Star break, monster numbers, particularly to me, more impressive than the scoring, the rebounding, nearly 15 and a half a game. His field goal percentage, he's second in the NBA, over 60%. And he recently hit 12 free throws in a row against Dallas, 12 for 12. So Shaquille O'Neal, though, he's a power player. The Warriors are going to have incredible, tough matchup problems, just like they always did with Wilt Chamberlain. Shaquille, remember, hasn't scored 100 yet. That man did in Hershey, Pennsylvania back in '62.
How ironic that he's here tonight. At halftime, they'll be honoring the 63-64 team that beat St. Louis to get into the finals, but lost in 5 to the Boston Celtics. And Wilt Chamberlain on hand here tonight. Now, we're talking about another guy who could be a star, Anthony Hardaway, and he is becoming a star in his own right. It's the first time the fans here in the Bay Area get to see him.
Well, he's the guy that they traded for in the big swap with Chris Webber and the 3 number 1s. Very versatile player. I mean, if he could score more, he would easily do that, but he knows he's expected to move the basketball around. Great in the open court. Great jumping ability at 6'6". He can post up, down low. That causes problems, but he's a guy that can really float down the floor and a great guy to watch. Very versatile player.
A penny for your thoughts. Anthony Hardaway, exceptionally creative. Well, action coming up on Thursday night here on Sports Channel as the Warriors play host to Vin Baker and the Milwaukee Bucks. Looking forward to that one as Sports Channel's coverage of Warriors basketball continues Thursday night with the pregame show at 7, the tip-off at 7:30. Tonight's Warriors. Welcome back to the Coliseum Arena. The Warriors return home with a record of 37-27, 21-10 at home. They've won 8 straight here at the Coliseum Arena, 15 of 17. The Magic 14-18 on the road, 39-26, second in the Atlantic behind the New York Knicks. Let's check the lineups for Orlando. Dennis Scott, 3-point specialist. The great Shaquille O'Neal, who leads the league in scoring, and Jeff Turner returns to the starting lineup at power forward after coming off the bench for some 20 games. Anthony Hardaway and Nick Anderson in the backcourt. Our starting lineups brought to you by Wells Fargo Bank. Brian Hill, in his first year as head coach of Orlando, only the second head coach in the Magic's 5-year history, joined the Magic as a top assistant to then head coach Matt Kukas prior to the 1991 season. Before joining the Magic, served as assistant with the Atlanta Hawks for 4 seasons. And now our Wells Fargo lineups for the Golden State Warriors. Chris Mullin, Chris Gatling, and Chris Webber, the all-Chris front court for the Golden State Warriors. And yes, Billy Owen starting for the 2nd straight game. Latrell Sprewell point spree tonight as Don Nelson goes big. Owen starting at the number 2 guard, Sprewell with Don Nelson going big against Anthony Hardaway. Right now, let's go over to another Webber by the name of Brian.
Thanks, Steve. On February 4th, the Magic stood 26-19. Brian Hill opted to shake up his lineup. He brought Dennis Scott in off the bench and inserted him at small forward. That moved Nick Anderson into the backcourt. Anthony Hardaway to the point. The clubs responded. In the 20 intervening games, they're 13-7. It worked for Scott. Jumping from 9 to 16 point. Anderson has struggled. 12.5 points, 43%. Probably the smartest thing he did, keeping a guy named Shaq in the middle. Back court side to you and Jimmy.
All right, thank you very much, Brian. The Magic not playing well. They are 6-6 in March, as I pointed out, off a loss at the Lakers Sunday. And after Sunday's lackluster performance in L.A., Brian Hill cracked the whip in a practice at the Great Western Forum yesterday. Things got a little out of hand when Shaquille O'Neal got into a yelling match and a shoving match with Larry Krystkowiak. Anthony Hardaway has been struggling at point guard, and as Brian pointed out, Nick Anderson not shooting well.
In fact, Nick Anderson, I believe, was scoreless against the Lakers. Didn't return in the fourth period, but here's a guy, as you look at Brian Hill, who can light it up. But Brian Hill's done an outstanding job in his first year as head coach.
Out of East Orange, New Jersey, Nick Anderson, who we spoke of, struggling the last three, averaging just 9. Number 3 on the team overall at 15 a game.
Fifth-year players averaged 19-9 the past 2 seasons, and believe me, that's kind of scary. He's due to break out.
And Don Nelson hoping it is not tonight. All right, we're underway. Shaquille O'Neal averaging 29.2. Nick Anderson right on cue with a 3.
He really hurt Golden State in the second half. Look at this, comes up with a steal. Hardaway, he goes down, and he was stepped on by Gatling, it looked like.
Yep. Steve Javie, one of the 3 officials making the call. Number 1 on Gatling. The other officials, Ken Maurer and Joe DeRosa. The controversial Steve Javie, who threw the Portland Trailblazers radio analyst out of the game about 2 weeks ago, Mike Rice. Jeff Turner back in the starting lineup looking for 3. He hasn't started since before the All-Star break, the veteran from Vanderbilt. Now here is Chris Gatling. He's got room. Couldn't finish. And Turner the rebound. And the ball goes out of bounds, but to Orlando. The Magic tied a club road record for wins with 14 in their previous game. They're 12-6 since the All-Star break. Previous game they beat Cleveland, a Hunt Ball Club, 113-96. Here comes Billy onto the open floor. Down the Mullen, lost it, recovered. Kept it alive along the baseline to Spree for 3. Over Hardaway, way off the mark. Out of bounds, last touch by Orlando. Shaquille O'Neal got a piece of it as it went out. O'Neal.
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
I was just going to say, first in scoring, second in rebounding, second in field goal percentage, 6th in blocks.
Goes down that far, huh? 6th.
Hard to believe he's that low. Mullen, quick release off the inbounds. No, good rebound by Gatling. Rejected by O'Neal. And speaking of blocks, I think he just went up a couple of notches.
Well, I guarantee you, Chris Gatling has got to get that a little higher. This was a pretty flat shot. Nice offensive rebound, but this shot did not get up in the air, and it was easily swatted away by Shaquille.
How interesting that Wilt Chamberlain would be in the crowd here tonight. All the comparisons. Weber tied up by O'Neal.
And they call a foul
on Shaq. That's his first. Weber gets high fives all around for the drive on Shaquille.
Magic's first team foul, Chris Weber.
So Chris Weber shooting 54% to the line. Weber tops in rebounding on the club at 9.2. He's 9th, 3 notches below in blocks, below a Shaquille. And Don Nelson said Weber did not play much in that Dallas game, particularly the entire fourth, because Gatling was hot. Don't read anything into that.
But Gatling was so good. I mean, he just could not come off the floor.
And is Scott squaring up?
Number 3, Dennis Scott.
Dennis Scott, 15 for his last 23 from three-point range. He's 6th in the league at 41%.
He's just a great catch-and-shoot player. You got to make him put it on the floor.
They call him 3D. Here's Weber. Rare shot from the outside and nothing but net.
Over the last 20 games, though, we've seen him take that shot. Earlier in the year, reluctant. He can shoot it.
Orlando leads it 5-4. Here's Anderson for 3. Hit one earlier. Turner keeps it alive, knocks it out of bounds, though. And the ball goes back to the Warriors.
Haven't established anything yet in only 2 minutes, but the Warriors will want to run tonight, and a lot of times it'll be Billy leading the break like he was earlier when he could not get the pass quickly enough to Mullen.
Billy Owens starting his second straight after coming off the bench 4 in a row, and Owens buries that one. He's averaging better than 17 over the last 5 and 10.5 rebounds.
You know, it really did him good by sitting down. Look at this drive inside. Can't make it go.
Hardaway that was. Here's Jeff Turner. Turner likes to use the body. Fans thought he walked.
Did a nice job of getting rid of the defender with the shoulder.
So it's 7-6 Magic. Back it goes to Mullen. Weber deep corner with Shaquille O'Neal. Weber going baseline. And then down go Bodies. Offensive foul. Jeff Turner.
Took up the slack. Jeff Turner did a nice job. Now see, O'Neal is beaten, but Turner spots it all the way. Just comes over, takes the charge.
Jim, Orlando, as you recall, won the first game between these two teams 120-107 at the Orlando Arena back in late November. Anderson, no, and he's fouled. It's on Weber again. 2 quickies. And Nick Anderson, though, paying the price. He is doubled over.
Screen by O'Neal. Billy is a little late. Gatling kind of in that no man's land in between, so he cannot go to block the shot. Worried about O'Neal cutting to the hoop, and Anderson, the bridge of his nose, goes to the line.
2 on Weber here early. Not even 3 minutes gone by. So a visibly shaken Nick Anderson to the line. 65% shooter. This, like the Warriors, a bad foul shooting team at 67%. We have some stunning basketball news for you that we'll pass along when we get the opportunity. It will be Warriors ball. Magic Johnson is reportedly returning to the Los Angeles Lakers as their head coach, replacing Randy Funn, according to KMPC Radio in LA, reporting that Johnson, who retired, of course, in '91 after contracting HIV, will take over the Lakers. According to the station, Jim, Funn, who was given a 1-year contract, if you recall, extension earlier this month, will coach the team starting Wednesday in Dallas and then on Thursday in Houston. Johnson will take over on Friday with his first game Sunday against Milwaukee. That sounds convoluted, but in any event, Magic Johnson is going to take over the Los Angeles Lakers.
I'm really surprised because it was just as recent as maybe 2-3 weeks ago that Randy Funn was given that vote of confidence for another year. I have to wonder if Magic Johnson will go on the road and with Randy Funn for those 2 games, and Randy Funn knowing he's just a lame duck coach. That's pretty bizarre.
It is. Here's Nick Anderson. He has so much for votes of confidence. How many times have we heard that expression, vote of confidence? You know, that and 30 cents will get you on the bus. Tied at 7 here. Here's Anthony Hardaway as Orlando keeps it alive. Anderson with Owens. Down to O'Neal. O'Neal is scoreless. Back outside, and Scott delivers for 3.
You just can't lose your concentration. You can't think about doubling. You can't think about helping. When Scott's out there, don't let him catch the ball at the perimeter.
They've got a great chemistry. Dennis Scott and Shaquille O'Neal, they're best friends. Owens plus the foul. Billy Owens with a slashing drive to the hoop.
That's the best move of the night from either club. He was thinking of the 2-hand dunk, but he went back to the right, squeezed between the defenders. Watch him protect the ball on this. Just goes away from Jeff Turner. Beautiful driving, twisting layup.
So Billy Owens a chance for a 3-point play, shooting just 61%. A surprise when he started against Dallas the other night. Don Nelson said he wanted to go small, and he said don't read anything into that either. But he's starting again tonight.
Warriors a little rat trap. Now O'Neal, look at that power.
What a pass from Hardaway.
Sprewell got a piece of O'Neal in the ball. O'Neal just flipped him off like a fly.
Here's Gatling back the other way with a finger roll. Offensive foul. The charge. What do you think about people who say that Shaquille O'Neal is just a dunker? That, to me, is a lot of hogwash.
Well, as we take a look inside, he certainly is the master of the dunk. But he can do a lot more, and he's worked on his game. Right now, they're even pulling him out high right now. He starts from a high post. He's got a pretty good shot going left to right across the key.
Here's Nick Anderson looking for O'Neal. 7 on the shot clock. The help out by Weber now.
He's got to learn to be a better passer. That's one thing.
And it's Dennis Scott again, a long two.
Yeah, he's styling a little bit against Mullen. Mullen is matched up on him. You see him go back and do a little trash talking with his body language.
6'8" Dennis Scott with the sweet touch. 6th in the league from three-point range. Has 1 3 tonight. 14-10 Magic. Mullen looking for a call. Nothing doing. He looks back at Kenny Maurer, the man they call Fonz. Nothing. Scott on the fly, and he is on fire. 4 field goals now for Scott. He's 4 for 4, has 9. 7:02 to go. The crowd is turning Henry. Warriors down 6. 16-10. The Warriors trail. Check this out.
Oh, Dennis Scott goes around Mullen. Mullen was trying to help out, but watch the styling on the way back. This is trash talking with the body language. That's what I was referring to, and he's obviously feeling it.
Dennis Scott injury plagued the last 2 years. Played only 72 games in the previous 2 years, mostly leg injuries. Averaging 11.6 tonight, though, 4 for 4, including a 3. Sprewell, they close the door on him. Nice interior defense.
Well, this defense from the Magic has looked very strong so far.
Spree with 2 on the shot clock for 3. Rebound O'Neal. Jack with 3. He averages 13, second behind Rodman.
Once again, the double team, good ball movement.
Ball squirts loose out of Hardaway's hands, goes to the Warriors. Very active Don Nelson.
Yes.
The Warriors down 6.
Yeah, Warriors haven't found any rhythm at all right now. It's just they're just playing and hoping things are going to materialize.
Chris Gatling inside from Chris Mullen. Yeah, the best rhythm so far is on the sidelines from Don Nelson. 16-12.
Great matchup, Sprewell and Hardaway. And Sprewell's going to cover a lot of distance tonight if he keeps doubling off the top.
Gatling doing his best to try to stop O'Neal. Weber came over, but they get another offensive rebound. Turner making the most of this start. He's got 4.
Now that's the value of O'Neal. You come over to give double team, triple team help. You're not able to block off.
And that was Turner's 5th rebound in a short matter of minutes. So he has really contributed. He's psyched. 18-12, Orlando. Owens posting up on Anderson. The help out by O'Neal. Swing it over. 3 for Mullen. Nice rebound by Weber. And with the explosion.
He got O'Neal out of the lane. He lowered his head 1 dribble, and he was home free.
Weber and Hardaway will battle with Mashburn for Rookie of the Year honors. Here's Anderson from Scott, a nifty pass. Scott in trouble, out to Turner. Uncontested jumper, and he can do that. He's got a good touch from the outside.
These are good shooters. The Magic has tremendous outside shooters right now in Scott, Anderson when he's hot, and Jeff Turner.
They're a 49% shooting team as the Warriors turn it over.
You know, 49% though, when you consider O'Neal. Here's the Weber rebound.
Himself, yeah.
And the finish. Consider O'Neal as 60%, and he's 25%, just under that, about 24% of their field goal attempts. So the rest of the team, not that great. I mean, it could be a lot better.
Here's a steal by Billy Owens. Owens with Anderson. Right through the hands of Sprewell. And O'Neal is cherry cooking.
Number 32.
So he's got 4.
Miscues by the Warriors. I mean, Mullen missed one earlier on when Billy Owens gave it to him. That went right through the hands of Sprewell, who's usually very sure-handed.
That's their 5th turnover, and the Warriors can ill afford to turn it over. They've got to take care of the ball here against Orlando. Ball comes back to Scott. Down to Hardaway, and he's on the loose. Looking for the flying jam, goes back to the Warriors. Hardaway upset, thought he was fouled.
Looked like there was a lot of contact on the play. Judge for yourself. Watch Billy Owens and Hardaway. Was it all ball? I'll tell you, pretty good defense inside. Javi had a good call on it and a good look.
Well, let's see how Byron Houston handles Shaquille as Gatling goes out. 22-14, Orlando. Don Nelson screaming illegal for the defense. Doesn't get results here. Sprewell high over O'Neal, and bodies flying as Dennis Scott tries to get up. Finally, he does. And O'Neal down to Scott. Scott, who has been red hot.
Takes a lot of guts to leave your feet in the lane when you know O'Neal's going to try to block a shot if he lands on you.
O'Neal going in, and he's fouled. Byron Houston has up the hand.
Number 21, Byron Houston.
Well, according to Pete Newell, who's had Shaq at his big man's camp, also advisor to the movie Blue Chips, Shaq can run. He's the quickest big man he's ever seen. His explosiveness is second to none, and that includes David Robinson. And he does more than dunk. He's got spin moves, step back moves, a little hook. When a guy can explode the way he can, why shouldn't he?
I find it very difficult to believe that he is any quicker than Akeem Olajuwon. I mean, I'd like to see and how you measure that. Obviously, Akeem is extremely quick. In fact, recently he was 10th in the league in steals, but Shaquille O'Neal does have quickness for his size. If you measure the poundage and then the quickness, certainly he's right there.
Newell says he'll get better because he'll work at it. He understands the game. He's got wisdom. 24-14, biggest lead, 10-point lead for the Magic.
Well, that's how he got in trouble last week from Jeff Turner for not coming to practice and working on free throws. So they were saying he's really not working as hard as he should.
And Jim, Chris Webber for the second time tonight strokes it from deep.
Well, there hasn't been much inside. Warriors have to loosen them up a little bit, get in the open court to get some easy ones if they want to win tonight.
Webber 3 for 3 from the field, has 9. O'Neal, Sprewell knocked it away from behind. Jump ball as Houston ties up O'Neal. Good defense by Sprewell to set up the jump ball. Timeout Magic, 2:47 to go in the first. Magic 24, Warriors 16. But the Warriors are showing signs, particularly on the defensive end here late in the first quarter.
Byron Houston falls down. Shaq's in the lane, but the rotation over from Sprewell allows Houston to recover, and you've got the jump ball.
Tonight's Scores Around the League brought to you by Payne Webber. We believe our most important investment is an investment in relationships. New Jersey over the Clippers, 105-102. Charlotte.
They're a lot better when they have Larry Johnson and Alonzo Mourning.
Yeah, Mourning had 24.
How about this?
This is incredible, isn't it?
Indiana. This is a final. This is not the third quarter.
No, you'd think maybe even halftime. Cleveland 93, Indiana 61. Pacers led by Rick Smits with 10 points. Do you believe that?
The defense of the Knicks just keeps rolling on. 78 points for Chicago. And here's something. Hey.
How do you like that? Houston losing to Minnesota. What a night. Is there a full moon tonight? And the other news we told you about before, Magic Johnson will take over as head coach of the Los Angeles Lakers. Here's a three-point attempt, rebounded by Sprewell. Here comes Chris Mullin now. Nice ball movement. Webber wiggles it up. No. Down he goes to the seat of his pants. Nick Anderson into the front court. Krzysztofiak in there now, and it pinballed out of bounds off Krzysztofiak. Ryan Hill does not like that. So the Warriors down by 8 with the ball. And now they go to the half-court look. Another turnover. Hardaway, look out for Sprewell, and he loses Spree.
Smart play, just lets the defender run by. Now Webber was starting up top with the ball. They like him to throw it down and then cut to the hole. It's a play they've got either for Billy or for Webber. They're going to try it again.
That was Hardaway's first field goal. The Magic making a concerted effort to get him Rookie of the Year. With their PR department, here's Sprewell. Back tap nicely. Billy Owens in the corner. Into Houston. Quick release.
One of those nights where they may need Houston to score. The Warriors have not gotten anything from the floor. Just poor shooting. 7 for 18, I believe, so far.
39%, while the Magic at 52. And Sprewell, between two guys, commits the foul.
Sprewell's just trying to deny the ball to Anthony Hardaway. Good way to play a guy because he can't do much damage unless the ball's in his hands.
Don Nelson starting Sprewell at the point to get a bigger man on Anthony Hardaway. Here is Hardaway with Sprewell.
And you haven't seen Hardaway post up on Spree.
Dennis Scott for 3. Long rebound. Ooh, Owens couldn't get it. Scott. Krzysztofiak didn't expect it, and it's Webber with his third. Joe DeRosa with the call, and Don Nelson in his face. 3 first-period fouls on Chris Webber. Larry Krzysztofiak to the line. Krzysztofiak with arch problems. He was activated last Wednesday. The arch problem translating into a sprained right foot. Has played only 19 games this year. 80% foul shooter. He is a tough customer. 8th year out of Montana, signed as a free agent.
Loves to bang it up inside, does not avoid contact.
And you can see his knees with all that equipment. He's had the knee problems over the years. Alexander into the ball game, replacing the foul play Chris Webber. What a tough break for the Warriors. Webber will sit with 9 points and 2 rebounds.
Yep, this is not a night where you want your big man to pick up 3 fouls in the first period.
Meanwhile, O'Neal is replaced by Tree Rollins, who started the year as the Magic's assistant coach, signed for the remainder of the year as a player. Krzysztofiak makes the second. So Tree Rollins in his 17th year out of Clemson.
Why not? He's still 38. He won't be 39 until September.
Not even at Jack Benny's age yet. 3rd all-time leading shot blocker in NBA history. 27-18, Orlando. Nice cut by Sprewell.
Great backdoor play and good recognition from Mullen, almost directing traffic with the ball face. What a screen by Krzysztofiak on Sprewell. That'll rock you.
We said he's a banger. He's tough. And he was in the face of O'Neal in practice yesterday, as Scott has it.
Well, Rollins is not the scorer inside that O'Neal is, but he can still set screens, and he just eluded Mullen. Mullen comes back through the 3.
Chris Mullen. And that makes it a 6-point ball game. 35 seconds. Tough defense by Sprewell. Oh, and Sprewell claiming he was being held. Javy says the ball is off Sprewell. It goes to the Magic. And once again, Steve Javy, the Richard Steele of the NBA, is in the center of controversy.
Yeah, he made the call that it went off Spree's foot. He was right. He did not see the hold from Hardaway on the pants of Sprewell. Sprewell's trying to cut back, and Hardaway just holding on a little bit until the ball goes out of bounds.
Oh. Hardaway inside. Watch what you say. Don't be too animated here. He'll throw one of us out.
I promise you, I'm not going to get thrown out tonight.
Okay, and I'll promise also, if you don't, I won't. He told Mike Rice, the Portland announcer, to get back to his piddly little job. 8 seconds to go. That's what really got him angered. Alexander, no. Rebound. Nick Anderson, they only have 2 seconds. He's got a fling. He doesn't know it. And that's it. Oh, he's upset with himself. He's not cognizant of the clock. That's the end of the first quarter. Listen to this crowd. They have turned ugly against the officials. 31-23, Orlando.
Back at the Coliseum Arena, the Magic up 8 after 1. Welcome back. I'm Brian Weber. While Chris Webber has picked up some early foul trouble, it may limit the rim rattling potential of tonight's game. We have 2 of the premier dunkers here in Oakland tonight. Webber came into the game with 173 slams. He's on pace for about 220, but that still puts him 100 behind Shaq O'Neal. 322 led the NBA, but Steve and Jim, you're right. These guys bring more to the dance than just a slam, but sure fun to watch him throw it down the cylinder.
Well, Brian, there's been a lot of Shaq bashing this year. Some say that the Shaq bashing is reminiscent of the Michael Jordan bashing a few years ago. When they reach that stage, people are so judgmental, expectations are high, and they're always going to try to take a piece of you. Giants National League Manager of the Year Dusty Baker will be honored with the 6th annual ALS Lou Gehrig Ironman Award. A's manager Tony La Russa hosts this celebration dinner for research on ALS on Saturday, April 2nd. You can be a part of it by calling 415-923-3604.
Alexander's first basket in a long time.
He was a DNP CD of Dallas.
Missed the Houston game for the birth of his 2nd child.
Alexis Danielle. Here's Shaquille O'Neal, makes the turn move inside, and he's held. Alexander on top of him. Take your pick, actually. All kinds of people straddling. Hey, how about these charting pitches for the next game? Tree Rollins.
Tree Rollins, the assistant coach. He's doing double duty.
Jack of all trades. The Tree began the year as assistant coach, and now playing back up.
You know, Avery Johnson in the lineup now, and Jeff Grayer. A little different look. Scott Skiles for Orlando, but I want to tag, you're talking about the dunks and you're talking about different things and the players today, and then you read a thing about Lou Gehrig. who played 2,136 games. And the year before, he didn't know his health was failing. Hits .295 and takes a $15,000 pay cut. Insists on it because he'd hit 12 straight seasons over 300. You wouldn't have that happen today from these guys.
Well, that puts it in perspective. I mean, some of these guys get a hangnail and they're out for a week. Here's Alexander, out of bounds. And a foul on O'Neal. That's his second.
Second personal foul, the Magic's first.
Shaquille O'Neal, who combines the skills of a Wilt Chamberlain, who's in the crowd, with the magnetism personality of a guy we referred to, the new coach of the Lakers, Magic Johnson. How ironic that both come into play here tonight.
You know, I think Shaquille O'Neal has handled all of the publicity and all of the attention with dignity. I mean, it is very difficult to be thrown in the spotlight at such a young age. And there's a guy that knows all about that. Wilt Chamberlain on the left. Overbrook High School out of Philadelphia.
Well, Shaq chalks it up to plain old jealousy. The green-eyed monster, as far as the Shaq bashing is concerned, and he's probably right. Oh, great pass from Skiles to Anderson for the alley-oop.
See, they're starting to double team up top. They made some adjustments, and now they're going backdoor along the baseline because they know he's open.
Orlando by 9. Here's Alexander over O'Neal.
Now, see, he can be effective that way. O'Neal doesn't want to leave the basket.
Off the bench with 5, 2 for 4 from the field. 35-28 Magic. Nice pass inside. Krystkowiak is pushed by Jeff Grayer.
Grayer just got there a step late.
Number 44,
you know, I'm even surprised if he makes a free throw here, it'll be double digits, a 10-point lead. But if he had never looked at the scoreboard, the Magic seems like they've really owned this basketball game thus far.
They have, as they go for their 40th win. Krystkowiak, 1 for 2 from the line, has 3 points. He lives just down the road from where Phil Jackson grew up in Montana. Missed the first meeting with the sprained foot with the Warriors, so eager here tonight. Here's Sprewell over Anderson, off the mark. Kept alive by Jeff Grayer, who has been very effective off the bench lately. Last 8, averaging 11.5 good shooting. Mullen off for 3. Digging for it, but it goes out of bounds.
Yeah, Grayer once again played a superb game in Dallas.
16 points in 39 minutes. Good shooting, 6 for 13. Grayer over the last 8 shooting 63%, playing about 24 minutes. Here's Skiles now. Back to O'Neal and the foul. Skiles with another assist. His high this year is 20. And of course, he set the NBA record with 30 against Denver in 1990.
Watch how quickly O'Neal gets the ball into the one hand away from the defenders. He doesn't want to go to the line. Just goes up strong, protects the ball. A little ticky-tack foul reach in by Alexander.
That's his second. Meanwhile, O'Neal missing his first after making 4. O'Neal has 10 points and 5 boards. 12-point lead, the largest for the Magic. Alexander shakes Skiles free and can't hit them. Sprewell with an aggressive rebound. The shovel to Mullen.
And Mullen shot that one from the waist. It got up high, but he barely got off the floor. Quickness on the release. If he'd have tried to out-jump O'Neal, you know who would have won the battle.
Indeed, Mullen with 7. Skiles backs off on Johnson. Johnson off the bench for the first time this year. 64 games to get started. Now here's Skiles. 4 on the shot clock. Nick Anderson, and he hits, but it's not going to count because it's an offensive foul.
Offensive foul.
And Anderson hot under the collar at Joe DeRosa. His first.
Warriors just played that man-to-man, just got tougher man-to-man defense. There's the push-off with the right arm. Good call.
Number 31, Jeff Turner returns along with number 1, Penny
Anthony Hardaway back in with Jeff Turner.
Interesting, Scott Skiles is still on the floor. Now, they don't usually play together, talking about Anthony Hardaway and Skiles.
Yeah, Hardaway had been the point guard. Here's Mullen now. So Hardaway obviously moves positions. Now here's Mullen in the corner. Alexander, again, Don Nelson screaming illegal defense. As Grayer connects. That's his first field goal. It's an 8-point Orlando lead. Out of bounds. Good defense by Mullen, tying up Hardaway. Off Hardaway.
Number 30, Billy Owens returns.
And now Billy Owens comes back in for Chris Mullen, who leaves 2 for 6, plus 4 assists.
They just keep Alexander up top. to bring O'Neal away.
And here he is. Big Vic with a high arcing shot. Rebounded by Mullen, and he is fouled.
I like Vic taking the shot because it still keeps O'Neal away from the basket. You're able to get an offensive rebound or two.
Billy Owens fouled by Scott Skiles, his first. The pesky, feisty Scott Skiles in his 8th year out of Michigan State.
What a competitor. Is there any better in the NBA? He comes to play every night.
He is tough and hard-nosed, and he's an Iron Man, too. Billy Owens, 1 for 1 at the line. Really concentrating, taking his time. And it pays off. Coming up at the half, Vern Glenn with the Cron Sports Break, plus Greg Papa sits down with Anthony Penny Hardaway, plus first half statistics and highlights. Byron Houston coming back for Vic Alexander. Alexander leads with 5 points.
Well, Don Nelson did a lot of scrambling with Weber in foul trouble, so he's having to juggle the lineup and keep the Orlando Magic off balance.
Weber picked up 3 fouls in the first quarter, had 9 points and 2 boards. 7-point Magic lead. Hardaway getting the step, putting up a reverse on Sprewell, but couldn't finish. Too strong. Here's Owens flying down to Johnson. AJ ducks on her around to Turner. Oh, what a save by Sprewell. Owens with the lefty hook. The tip by Houston won't go. What an active first half on the glass at both ends. Here's Turner up high with Billy Owens down low. Goes stolen away by Houston, and 10 for O'Neal. Owens down to Grayer. Grayer beats Scott. And it's a 5-point game. The Warriors trimming it from 12. A 7-0 run.
O'Neal hasn't had the ball a lot, and Turner just tried to force it inside.
Warriors doing a terrific job denying Shaquille. Here's a 3 by Scott Skiles, and that's a backbreaker.
He's a career 38%. That's about where he is this year. You can't leave him alone either, and he can get hot.
And get this, 0 for 4 against the Lakers, Sonny, but prior to, he was 8 of 12. Here's Grayer now. The duck under, in and out. Rebound Hardaway. 8-point lead. Scott turns on Johnson. The big advantage height-wise, but Avery Johnson with the quickness and the steal. Sprewell! What a zig and a zag!
Kept the defense off balance.
Beautiful slashing drive by Sprewell, and the Warriors down 43-37. Crowd chanting defense. Here's Scott Skiles down to Dennis Scott, open for 3. Turner with another rebound, and then he lost the ball.
Billy Owens got away with one. He grabbed the left arm of Jeff Turner, and he's a left-handed guy, just simply lost it out of bounds.
And Jeff Turner very demonstrative in his protest. Now for the first time tonight we see Donald Royal, who is an excellent defender. His 4th year out of Notre Dame. He looked like a CBA lifer and made it back to the NBA. Here's Billy. Billy Owens out to Grayer. Houston way outside, bringing Shaquille O'Neal out too. Spree for 3. His first. 3-point game.
He scored 5 quick ones here, Sprewell. Again, the scrambling defense. I love the decision-making of Anthony Hardaway.
Oh, what a shot by Hardaway.
Big time. Big time shot.
Now Billy Owens, Warriors down 5. Jeff Grayer, strong, posting up against Royal.
Usually likes the other side of the floor.
And he goes to the other side and hits.
Number 24, Jeff Grayer.
6 points off the bench for Grayer. Warriors down 3 midway through the second in a fast-paced, energetic half. Scott Skiles out with Avery Johnson.
They're doing an excellent job of keeping it out of the hands of O'Neal.
Skiles for 3, his second.
Scott Skiles.
Scott Skiles, and it's 48-42. Avery Johnson up high with Skiles. Warriors down 6. Johnson with a little move to his right. Couldn't hit. Donald Royal the rebound. Skiles with the baseball pass down to Hardaway. The wiry, rangy Hardaway. Gorgeous feed to Royal. who put it up too strong, out of bounds off the Warriors. It will be Orlando ball. Anthony Hardaway putting on a display. 5:20 to go in the second. Warriors down by 6.
Warriors have climbed back in it here in the second period, but this may be the shot of the night. Anthony Hardaway just a couple of moments ago. The hesitation. Watch this explosion. Billy Owens blocks him. The backboard blocks him. Steve, how about a double clutch and then skim it off the glass?
Spectacular. At Memphis State, they called Hardaway erratic genius. They just needed him to be a little more consistent. He distributes the ball well. He's unselfish. He's got the long arms. He's very active defensively, and you can see what he can do offensively. So creative.
Orlando just owned the boards in the first period.
Here he is again, but they close the door on him. Good D by Sprewell. Johnson, look out, stumbles and bumbles, keeps it alive.
But they had a 3-on-2 and they lost it.
Here's Spree for 3.
They bailed them out. It worked out to their advantage.
You mean Avery didn't know that all the way, right? He said, bail me out. Sprewell, that's his second 3 of the game, and he's got 10. He's 2 for 4 from the arc. 3-point Orlando lead. 4:50 left in the second. Donald Royal gets his own rebound. Working feverishly, then Jeff Turner gets another offensive rebound. Look at this as Grayer gets it in the face. The foul on Houston. His second.
Well, Grayer was defending initially on Donald Royal, and Royal just ran right over Jeff Grayer.
Looked like the lower lip. Jeff Grayer feeling around there, see if he's got any teeth missing.
And the officials checking to see if there's any blood. So far, it looked pretty clean.
Donald Royal.
He's going to drive the ball all the time. He's
Tough
not
pass.
an outside shooter. He is an athlete that can run. But O'Neal has been held in check.
Warriors doing a nice job trying to deny O'Neal. He's got a total of 10 here in the first half. 7 rebounds. Warriors within 3.
If you recall, in that first meeting, November 23rd, the Warriors contained O'Neal the first half.
And then he broke through as Avery Johnson connects from the outside. First game, he wound up with 28 in 33 minutes, 12 for 19, plus 7 boards. 1-point game. Hardaway, fade away. Not there. Here comes Sprewell. They spread it out on the wing. Sprewell passed Hardaway and stolen by Royal. I told you, good defender. The pass to O'Neal. No, Skiles the putback off the fingertips. Scott's got the littlest guy out there for the Magic. And back to 3.
There'll be a foul on Scott Skiles, but that's so disappointing because O'Neal had a sure dunk and somehow the Warriors denied him, and then you let Scott Skiles. I told you earlier, he's a guy that never gives up. They were all over O'Neal. He's really very liberal with the defense there, but Skiles sneaks in.
Sprewell goes out. Mullins back. Warriors down 3. 3:35 in the half. Spree leads with 10. 4 for 9. Grayer driving. Doesn't get the roll. And Shaquille O'Neal gets another rebound. That's his 8th. Skiles on the penetration. Turner got the sweet touch. 8 points for Turner.
Turner knew exactly where Skiles was going. Skiles knew exactly where Turner would be.
8 points, 7 rebounds for Turner. Here's another turnover. Skiles the steal. Here's Hardaway now. Warriors down 5. The trailer is Skiles, and Skiles making things happen. Going backdoor to Hardaway. Hardaway with a look away, and Royal rejected by Mullen. Here comes Mullen. Owens against Turner. Behind the back from Mullen, and Owens is fouled. Warriors on a big 2-on-1 break.
Number 31, Jeff Turner.
Turner with his 3rd.
Magic's 4th team foul of the period. Timeout, Magic.
Timeout, Orlando. 2:44 left in the first half. Magic 52, Warriors 47.
Pick and roll up high. Shaquille O'Neal. Skiles turns the corner, but watch the rotation. O'Neal goes down the gut. Watch the defense just suck back in. Jeff Turner rotates back up all alone for a 20-footer. And that's just great communication, Skiles knowing exactly what the defense would do. And I really like the way Brian Hill has got these guys playing together. They're a very unselfish ball club.
One of those guys, quiet, unassuming, paid his dues, assisted in college for many years, Montclair State in New Jersey, coached many years of high school basketball, longtime assistant in Atlanta. He coached Brendan Sewer in college. I believe that was at Montclair State. Brendan now an assistant coach with the New Jersey Nets. All right, 52-47, Orlando. They've led all the way, just about. Golden State did have a 1-point lead early. Warriors' biggest deficit, 12. Billy Owens.
Number 58, Latrell Sprewell returns.
He's now 2 for 4 at the line. Sprewell's back. So the Warriors going with Sprewell, Johnson, Owens, Mullen, and Greer. It's a small lineup. And he's missed his last 3, has Billy Owens at the line after making 2 in a row. So the score remains the same. Dennis Scott, who has his own television show in Orlando. That was last touched by Mullen, so no violation. 7 on the shot clock, though. Oh, it's an offensive foul. Hardaway threw out the elbow, and Johnson went down.
Great anticipation by Avery Johnson.
First personal.
Penny's first.
Hardaway equally adept at going right or left. Avery guessed right. He went left.
Orlando has 6 turnovers this quarter alone. 6 of their 9 total. The Warriors have 8 all total. Avery Johnson, tough.
Makes a difference when O'Neal's not on the floor.
3-point Orlando lead. Here's Jeff Turner. One hops it inside for Hardaway. Hands it off to Anthony Avant. The former Milwaukee Buck came over in January for Anthony Cook at a 94 first-round pick. Quickly down floor. Mullen and Turner, they'll jump it up.
What a pass by Anthony Hardaway in traffic to find Avant.
So adept. How does he find the openings? He's got 6 assists already.
Good defensive position for the tip.
And Orlando pulls it in. Here is Hardaway. Hardaway averages 6.3 assists.
And his counterpart, Skiles, 6.8. So between them, we got a 13.1.
Oh, look out. Hardaway plunging through. Able to put it in.
And a good non-call, even though he did have contact with the guy at the basket.
Hardaway, you may have heard on the pregame, if you have it, with Greg Papa talking about how psyched he is to come here because he could have been a Warrior. He looks up into the mountains and says, I could have lived up there with the other Golden State Warriors. Who knows?
Well, they booed in Orlando for a long time.
They sure did, but he has righted that wrong with his style of play, his flair, his excitement, and his winning. Greer behind the back, too tricky, and then the foul.
Yeah, bad decision rather than just picking up, terminating the dribble. Want to finish that Hardaway thought, though. They are finally accepting him. Talked to Pat Williams yesterday, GM, as we see Greer come over. Rather than make another dribble, come over, come to a jump stop. It results in a turnover.
And Jim, he's also won the hearts of many fans by buying a house. I mentioned this on a road broadcast. A house, as Styles comes back, for his grandmother and his mother. He's very close with those 2 ladies. Bought a house right near Graceland, where Elvis Presley used to house himself.
Well, the fans, that's nice, but I guarantee you, unless he produces on the floor,
well,
they're not going to accept him, and that's what he's doing. That's exactly right. He has really come around since the first of the year.
Krzysztofiak's back, replacing Jeff Turner, who would be getting an ovation if this were Orlando now.
If he would buy me a new house, I would appreciate him a lot more.
Near Graceland, too, huh? You like Elvis country?
No, thank you. I like the music, but that's it.
All right. Avon misses the second, but Skiles gets it back. Oh, out of bounds.
Well, Dennis Scott, you see, is not a guy that can handle things with the ball. He's a catch-and-shoot player, but when you get him making decisions, having to make ball handling responsibility, it's not his forte.
He's a shooter. Number 4 pick out of Georgia Tech in '90.
Almost got traded for Danny Manning. Dennis Scott.
Another turnover, Jim. That's their 10th. Skiles goes down on his stomach. Here's the shooter, Dennis Scott, but Greer may have gotten a piece of that. Gatling finally controls that blubber ball. It comes all the way down. Long pass to Mullen. Mullen handles it. Mullen goes baseline. In he goes.
Chris Mullin.
Mullen with some razzle-dazzle. And it's 57-51 Orlando. 13 seconds as Orlando looks for the last shot of the half. Scott Skiles quarterbacks. 5 seconds. Skiles finds a little opening. Dishes off to Scott. Scott to Scott. And Dennis can't deliver at the buzzer. Would have counted. And that is the end of the first half. Warriors coming back from 12 down. And it's 57-51 in favor of Orlando. Stay tuned for halftime. Orlando 57, the Warriors 51. Halftime here at the Coliseum Arena. Steve Albert back with Jim Barnett, or is it Hank Greenwald? Hank just walked right into our shot. He didn't realize we were on camera, but we got to have some fun. It's live television.
Steve, we only have 15 seconds.
Oh, I'm sorry. How about the first half? Sum it up in 15 seconds.
I'll tell you what. Warriors got to be very happy they're down by 6. Weber goes out of the game with 3 fouls in the first period, and Don Nelson has already utilized his bench. 3 guys off the bench have double-digit minutes.
Yeah, and the Warriors did a nice job on Shaquille O'Neal as we take a look at our Jack in the Box halftime highlights.
Well, Shaquille O'Neal has been held in check. Now, they've done some damage from other people, but really he's been very content just to roam around once in a while, pick up something inside. But Shaquille O'Neal, 10 points, 8 rebounds, but nearly twice as many minutes as Chris Webber. Webber, 9 points in only 11 minutes. But the rebounding, wouldn't you like to play alongside Shaquille O'Neal? Look at, he draws Gatling, he draws Webber, and that allows Jeff Turner to step inside. He has tied O'Neal, 8 rebounds in the first half. That's the difference in the game right now, 30-20 on the boards. And we talked about the bench. Greer comes off the bench in his 12 minutes. He gets down 6 points on 3 for 5 shooting. And the guys that are doing the scoring off the bench for Golden State, the guys that aren't doing the scoring conspicuously, Chris Mullin only 7, Gatling only 2, and Billy Owen 6. Sprewell did get to 10 points, double figures, only player at that level.
Chris Webber, who needs a haircut, Jim. Well, here's a guy who never needs a haircut, Chris Mullin. But Mullin, yes, only 7 points in 19. Webber, with the 3 fouls in the first quarter, has 9 points and 2 rebounds. So here we go. We'll see how this second half unfolds with the Warriors down 57-51. Billy Owens wide open.
That's his second from the outside. And you're going to have to knock that down with Shaquille O'Neal in the middle. He really kept them on the perimeter in that first period particularly.
Here's Dennis Scott into Shaquille O'Neal. Around the horn to Anderson. Jeff Turner over Chris Webber. Turner's been a thorn in the Warriors' side, and O'Neal is fouled.
Now there's an example of his incredible strength. Not only did he get hit by Gatling, but watch it hit, the ball hit on the rim on the way up, Steve. Perfect position inside. He doesn't even think about Gatling. Just continues with it.
And that is number 3 on Chris Gatling. O'Neal now has 13 points, 9 rebounds, and the Warriors are down by 7. Here's Mullin. Well, they want an illegal defense.
Yeah, Nelly's made a lot of adjustments here to start this second half. And, Webber just gets pushed away by O'Neal.
Stumbling past O'Neal, and he hits again from the outside. What's that, his third outside?
Third outside shot from 20 feet or beyond. You just can't pick up any ticky-tack fouls. Once in a while, you have to say, a guy's going to beat me. I'm not going to reach in and pick up a foul. Let him go. He just did that same thing right there.
And it goes.
That's exactly what Webber did.
Anthony Hardaway. He's got 10 all from the field. And if it goes, it counts. But Chris Webber winds up on his keister. He'll go to the line. And the foul, O'Neal. And that's his third.
They're talking over where the help is going to come from when Webber comes down. Early offense. Shaquille now, all of a sudden, that could be a factor, his third foul.
He's tied with Webber. Webber at the line. 3 for 4.
Shoots it too quickly. When he cocks it that. Here's the replay. Okay, O'Neal comes in. There's the bump. Gets to the line, but let's see if he can get a little smoother at the top of his release.
And Gatling claims he didn't touch it. Steve Javie says interference. and it looked like it was going in on its own.
It did go on its own, and I think Gatling held off.
Well, Don Nelson argues with any referee within earshot, and we'll see if that 1 point comes into play here down the stretch. Here's Scott for three.
That simply should not happen. I know the Warriors have been told you can't leave Dennis Scott.
That's his second three. He's got 14, a 41% three-point shooter, sixth in the league. 10-point lead again, and a turnover. That's the Warriors' 13th. Here comes Hardaway. A no look to O'Neal. O'Neal again, as Gatling went flying down.
Yeah, Gatling wanted the offensive foul. That turnover, by the way, Sprewell thought he could catch it with Hardaway still around behind his back and then score easily. He did not come meet the ball, and Hardaway picked it off.
O'Neal's got 15, another turnover, number 14. And two in a row, and Scott had it fall out of his hands. Warriors get a big break. Scott had that one.
Yeah, he lost it.
And then he just lost it. Yep. Mullen and Owens. Nice give and go. 10-point lead.
Billy going with the reverse layup. And it was a good option.
Billy Owens with 10, plus 6 assists. Now Sprewell dogging Hardaway at midcourt. Anthony. Look at that.
He's changed his mind in midair. He was thinking pass, then he went back to the shot.
Here's Sprewell with a skip pass intended for Mullen, picked off by Scott. Another turnover, Jim.
Laid it in his hands.
15 turnovers. And O'Neal with the hook. The jump hook by O'Neal, who's on a rampage here. And O'Neal now has 17 points.
Yeah, and the Warriors just have too many turnovers.
7 of those 17 here in the third. Weber with authority. Trying to give the Warriors a wake-up call, and you put it best at halftime. The Warriors just can't get it into any rhythm. They can't get the guys that usually score to score.
Very disjointed tonight.
And you can chalk some of that up to the defense of Orlando. Hardaway with the jam in the face of Gatling. Hardaway liked that one. He's got 12.
We talked about his versatility. How about going over a guy 6'10" and a good shot blocker in his own right on Gatling?
Sprewell. Handcuffed by Hardaway, and Hardaway applauds the call by Ken Mauer. The foul is on Hardaway.
Number 1, Penny Hardaway, second personal foul, second team foul in the match.
Hardaway, a moment ago, drops it back. Hardaway picks it up on the drop back pass, and yes, he did like that.
The way he's going, he can do both. Pick it up, drop it in, do it all. Sprewell, first trip to the line, 78%.
Number 15, Latrell Sprewell, 1 shot remaining.
Sprewell has 2 3-pointers in the game, 11 points. Hits them both.
They just haven't gotten Mullen into the offense. Gatling picks up his 4th foul in the backcourt, and he did not want to do that.
So he's got 4, Weber's got 3, and up is Jeff Grayer, and Jeff Turner will inbound the ball in the backcourt. So Gatling is gone.
Remember the game against Houston when Gatling had to go against Olajuwon? He got 1 point, I believe, in the game, maybe 2. Tonight he goes against O'Neal. When he goes and thinks about one thing, concentrates on one thing, a lot of his game goes away.
As O'Neal goes up and in, the only difference was he had like 7 rebounds, a few block shots.
He did a super job in that respect, but he doesn't seem to score. When he thinks about one thing, one objective, hold down the big center.
Tunnel vision.
Yes.
All right, here's Chris Webber now looking for Owens. Too well covered inside. Here's Mullen. They've done a good job on Mullen. Nice pass. Oh, Owens to Webber, and it goes.
Chris Webber.
Is that the same right hip that he hurt before? It looked like he fell on the floor.
Webber, shake it up, and it's the same spot.
Number 15, Latrell Sprewell commits the foul, his second personal foul.
Yeah, he's holding the hip. Missed 3 games because of that.
Deja vu.
I'll tell you what he's got to do. When he goes up in the air, he seems to me to be too quick to fall down. I thought he could have stayed with that play a little longer.
Well, he's going to try to walk it off here.
All right, watch the pass. Mullen inside, and Billy Owens behind the back.
Chris Webber.
Now see, I know he got upended a little bit, but I think he could go up knowing there's going to have contact and go up a little stronger. Tommy Abdenauer, the trainer, is going to take a look.
Yeah, they're not taking any chances. So Houston in. Warriors down by 10. 7:25 in the third. Hardaway for three, doing it from everywhere. What a third period for Anthony Hardaway. He's got 15 points. It's 76-63, largest lead. He had 8 points at the half. Out of bounds our way. Someone screaming for a call, nothing doing. Billy Owens stripped by Dennis Scott, picked back up by Owens. Wouldn't go. The foul is on Turner, his fourth.
Number 31, Jeff Turner, commits his fourth personal foul. Third team foul.
And to the line will be Owens, who tries to stretch out that right shoulder, shaken up a little bit. Owens is 2 for 5 from the line.
42, Larry
Here comes the banger, Larry Krystkowiak.
31, Jeff Turner.
And he replaces Jeff Turner. Looks like he's wearing long boxing trunks, but those are knee guards. Krystkowiak comes out with a smile. He's having a good time. This is his game against Byron Houston. Bang. Owens, as he backpedals, holding his right shoulder.
And that's the one he hurt in Chicago.
Yes.
When he banged in to Horace Grant.
11-point Orlando lead. Krystkowiak, fresh off the bench, can't hit.
Great block off by Houston on O'Neal.
Houston swings it down. Owens over to Mullen, the Trotter. Oh, he got tripped up. He tripped over himself.
Yeah,
Jim.
I think the shoe just ripped to the floor.
Well, he's lucky he is not really shaken up. That could have been serious.
Warriors.
So now tries to walk that off. Man, Magic lead 76-65.
Warriors trying to battle back in the third period. A lot of unusual plays. Billy Owens hurt his shoulder just before this play, and then again goes up without the ball. Great reaction for the second effort, but he was holding the shoulder. Now watch his feet get tangled up right in the middle of the lane. Return pass from Mullen. Billy Owens had an easy dunk, and he just simply tripped over himself. It looked like his feet somehow stuck to the floor.
Couldn't toe the line as he almost wrenched his ankle. Very, very lucky. Turnovers this quarter alone. Look at this. That is ugly. Owens makes the catch from Greer.
He's limping.
Billy Owens.
He is noticeably, Jim,
And
favoring that right leg.
yeah, and I'm wondering if it's the knee. He had it operated, the left knee. He's got the bandage on that, but that's where it's a little bit of danger. I didn't say that, but we'll talk about it and look at it later.
Nick Anderson.
So you're saying it's related to that toe thing.
Well, yeah, definitely the toe thing. Did he hurt his ankle or did he hurt his knee? Which part, which joint?
Can things get any worse here tonight?
It's goaltending.
Yeah, for Dennis Scott, so Billy Owens gets the goal. Let's watch Owens very closely as he goes back on defense. And he is noticeably hobbling. Just trying to work through it here, shake it through, but let's hope it's nothing serious. 78-69.
Yeah,
Orlando.
I'll try to pick it up whether it's his ankle or his knee. Hard to tell.
Nick Anderson for three. Line drive. Shaquille O'Neal, a fresh 24. Number 11 for O'Neal. Points back to the Warriors.
Houston forced him out.
Chris Webber returns.
Chris Webber, okay, but he noticeably favoring that right hip. And he replaces the other injured player, Billy Owens. And Tom Abdenauer, a busy man. So he'll sit down at the end of the bench and get some attention from the trainer. Greer avoiding an up and down. Nope. Krystkowiak goes up for it and collars the ball. Look at it. Sprewell going for the steal. Here's Hardaway. Hardaway just knows where everybody is. He didn't even look at Anderson. Down to O'Neal. Up. Goaltending on Webber. 2 more for O'Neal. O'Neal has 21 points, 8 for 12, 11 rebounds now. He had 10 points at the half, so 11 points here in the third. And still 5 minutes to go. Webber wheels. Broken up by Krystkowiak and O'Neal. Krystkowiak goes stolen. Here's Anderson all the way.
What a pass out from Hardaway. Just like Magic Johnson, up over the top of everybody. That 6'6" frame with the long arms does help.
Well, they say that Hardaway and Shaquille are the Magic and Kareem of the 90s. 4:38 to go in the third. 82-69 Orlando.
Billy Owens out of the game. Here's another angle. Let's take a look at it. It's the right ankle that he sprains. Yeah. Oh, yes, you can see it. It tweaked out. That's a great angle to see it. Doesn't even feel good to watch it again, but his toe caught.
And we have just been informed he went back to the locker room to have his right ankle re-taped. Nothing serious. Shaquille O'Neal this quarter alone.
That's almost like the ice skate, the tip of the ice skate catching in the ice. I'm trying to remember which skater.
Tonya Harding.
No, the Canadian skater who fell flat. And
oh, I remember that.
yes. She went right down in the double skate.
Tonya fell flat too, but in a different way. And it is Chris Webber going for the ferocious dunk. Fouled by Krystkowiak, his first.
Fourth team foul. Warriors number 4, Chris Webber.
Chris Webber to the line. Webber doing a little Mark Jackson there, a little imaginary
Visualization.
yes, but it didn't help. He's missed his last 4 after making 3 straight.
I just don't think he hesitates at the top enough. It's very unorthodox to just pull it up there and quickly release rather than just smoothly do it in the same rhythm. But
Jim, what are we going to do about these foul shooters in this league? Is this ridiculous or what? 82-60.
it's been coming down the last 5 years in the college ranks.
Going all the way down. Ryan Hill did not like that turnover. 13-point lead, though, he's got. Matching the largest. 4:05 to go in the third.
That was partially blocked.
Anthony Hardaway doing it at both ends. Anderson down to Scott. And is Scott squaring up. Webber in his face. Look at this, a 2-on-0. Mullen unselfishly to Webber.
Chris Webber.
So it's 82-71.
Warriors just need kind of a burst, get them over the hump. They need something that can just fuel them for the fourth quarter.
They have had no runs, really, no sustained attack in this ball game. Everything's been scattered and out of sync. Down by 11, and this might be part of a run here as Mullen the steal of Webber again.
It's a beginning.
Chris Webber. And he's got 19. Brian Hill has seen enough. 20-second timeout.
20-second timeout.
Good timeout for Brian. 24 years in the coaching ranks at all levels.
High school, college, and the pros.
Mullen going for the steal. Both look back to see if there's any foul. No, not this time. But stays right back in it. And then Webber makes the steal. And his second dunk in a row. Dunk coming right at you. And I hate to get caught up in the 90s. The dunk's great, but basketball is better. And there's a way to play the game. And sometimes you can get caught up with all this highlight stuff. But it's won in the paint in all kinds of fashion.
I agree with you, and I tell you, that's why I like watching women's basketball. It's played under the rim. O'Neal. As Houston goes down.
I thought that was a good non-call. I don't think he really charged in.
84-73, Magic, the leaner by Spree. 14 for Sprewell. 84-75, Warriors down 9, 2:45 in the third. Here's Anderson, baseline, gorgeous move. That was athletic. 11 for Anderson. Nice balanced attack here by the Magic. And they won't go away. Sprewell. Webber with a ferocious offensive rebound, and a bounce to the Warriors, says Steve Javie. Webber got 3 fouls in the first quarter, re-injured his hip just a few minutes ago, and but has been playing like a man possessed.
Well, he went after that ball, and that's what he's got to do more often at the defensive end. He's got to become more dominant. I keep repeating that, but it is indeed true.
Pretty turnaround by Sprewell. Coming alive here all of a sudden. 9-point Orlando lead. Houston.
He's very difficult to front. Byron took a chance that time, came out on the short end.
And just like that, what does O'Neal have? 25. 10 for 14.
It's very difficult to try to play in front and deny the ball. He's just simply too big, and they put it at the right angle.
And Hardaway has a pro-high 14 assists, previous 12. Sprewell for 3. Oh, the putback by Jeff Graham. Right place, right time, boxing out. 9-point lead again, Orlando. Anderson raising up. Grayer the rebound. Warriors with some spark here, some life. Here's Sprewell to Grayer all the way. Couldn't finish. Now what's the call?
Oh, from way out back in the backcourt, Jabby's calling over the top of the board.
Interesting. Now he's going to confer with Ken Maurer. Jabby made the call from behind the midcourt line.
He was indeed behind it.
Yeah.
Now
I'll give him this. He's trying to get something from Ken Maurer here, but they're giving it to the Magic.
Look at Don Nelson. The top of the board is in play, but if it does go over the backboard, it's out of play. It could very well be a good call, but it takes a lot of guts to call it in the backcourt when two guys are in the front court.
Well, Steve Jabby certainly has guts.
The side of the board is in play, the top of the board is in play, but if it goes over and comes down behind, it's out of play.
Well, Don, that's not a happy smile. It's a sarcastic smile from Don Nelson, feeling he was a job. Nevertheless, Orlando ball.
And I know I wasn't decisive to say, what did it go over the top? I thought it did.
You're just wondering how a man can see it from that distance.
It just kind of curled off the end, which kind of fooled everybody.
And Krystkowiak
42, Larry Krystkowiak.
adds to the problems of the Warriors. 90-79, under a minute, third quarter. Mullins with 3. Rebound O'Neal, and that's his 12th. Dennis Scott blowing in, and the follow by Krystkowiak. Krystkowiak has been a pest.
The Magic has put on a little run here. The Warriors will trade 2 for 1. They'll take a fairly quick shot. Should get it down by about 32.
Nelson upset the Warriors not rebounding at the defensive end.
They just squandered that theory of mine a moment ago.
Yep, but Grayer gets fouled by Skiles.
Number 4, Scott Skiles, third.
His third. Billy Owens got that right ankle retaped back into the game.
30, Billy Owens returns.
And he'll replace Houston. And Jeff Grayer will step up for the first time, a 60% foul shooter. As he's scoring this quarter. Grayer. Well, 3 Warriors games upcoming. Thursday against Milwaukee with Vin Baker and John Barry. And then Saturday, the San Antonio Spurs with MVP candidate David Robinson and Dennis Rodman. And then Tuesday at Utah.
And Utah, they have been slumping, losing 4 in a row after they'd won 10 straight. They were challenging for the Midwest Division lead.
Houston on top by 1 game over San Antonio, and right now it would be Warriors-Houston in the first round.
Although Houston loses tonight, Minnesota 83-81, so it's San Antonio only half game back.
92-81, 8 seconds to go in the third. Here's Aben, blocked by Weber. Taken out of there by Owens, checks the clock, 3 seconds down to Sprewell. Oh, what a pass, and it counts! Mullen at the buzzer.
That's something to build on.
After 3, Warriors finish with a flourish. 92-83, Orlando by 9.
The winners of tonight's...
Let's take a look at the scoring by quarters. The Warriors scoring 32, but giving up 35 in that third quarter. And they are down 9 heading into the fourth.
Last play, or the sequence for the Magic. The block by Weber. They get it out. Watch over the top by Billy Owens. I'll tell you something. This is a very intelligent play by Sprewell. He glanced up at the clock and knew there was just enough time to get it to Mullen. And the Warriors close on a positive note to end that period.
We'll see if it can carry over to the fourth quarter here. Warriors have been trailing virtually all the game. Their biggest deficit 13. The Magic taking their time in coming out. Avery Johnson, who did not start for the first time in 65 games, with the Warriors going big on Anthony Hardaway, starting Sprewell at the point, is into the ball game. And Chris Gatling is back. So it's going to be Gatling, Owens, Mullen, Sprewell, and Johnson. Jeff Turner, Nick Anderson, Dennis Scott, Scott Skiles, and Shaquille O'Neal. O'Neal starts the fourth with 25 points, 12 rebounds. Anthony Hardaway, 14 assists, a pro high. Here's Jeff Turner. Turner's been tough. He started tonight.
O'Neal just ran over Chris Gatling.
And that is his fourth. 4 fouls on O'Neal.
Not as quick when he goes back to his right when his back is to the basket. He didn't have vision on the man, and Gatling took up the space.
Avery Johnson. Oh, what a move, and then he is strangled by Jeff Turner. Clothesline, ball goes out of bounds, no call, it's just Orlando Ball.
Yeah, this is one case I wouldn't mind wasting a tee if I were Don Nelson.
And he might get one. Ken Maurer calling the technical on Don Nelson.
Well, tough game to call. You know it's going to be physical with Shaquille O'Neal, but no question about it, Jeff Turner simply had given up on the play and grabbed Avery Johnson on the way to the hoop. Watch it here, Turner in the middle of the lane. Look at this. He just reached in. He knew it was too late to try to get a block. It's easy to read those lips.
Certainly read the lips of Avery Johnson. Fourth technical on the year against Don Nelson. Orlando possession. They're up by 10.
You can see it sometimes out front letting it go by, but when a guy has beaten everybody and has an advantage going to the hoop, you've got to be on top of that one.
Well, the Warriors having their difficulty with the men in gray tonight as Dennis Scott lines it up. Long two.
Number 3, Dennis Scott.
You'll recall earlier this year, Shaquille O'Neal criticized the officials and got fined $5,000 for that. 95-83, Orlando.
Over 11 minutes to go. 4 times the Magic has been over 120 this year. Their high is 145. One of those times they beat the Warriors November 23rd with 120 to 107 count.
Mullen able to keep it going acrobatically, and Gatling squanders the opportunity. 12-point Orlando lead. Scott Skiles goes left on AJ. Throws up a runner. Looked like Bob Cousy. Scott Skiles with an old-fashioned runner. Well, the Warriors, Jim, not able to capitalize on that thrust that ended the third period.
Nope, they haven't scored since. They've cut it to 9.
Mullen.
Mullen just has no offensive game tonight. Nobody's giving him any screens. He's just not getting any easy shots.
Yeah, Dennis Scott in his face. He's 4 for 11. Jeff Turner continues to be a pest.
I think Don wants a timeout.
Warriors call
And you
time.
hear the crowd reaction. 10:15 on the clock in the fourth. 99-83 Magic. Magic building to their largest lead, 16. Let's take a look at our Nestle sweet move of the game, and it's courtesy of Anthony Hardaway. This was that shot that everybody reveled in. Watch this.
Second period, just turns the corner. He beats Billy Owens, Byron Houston, in the backboard. That's your Nestle sweet move of the game.
Number 4, Scott Skiles.
Scott Skiles with the foul, and now he's in the face of Steve Javie. He didn't like the call. Steve will not win any popularity contests here tonight, or basically any night when he comes to Oakland. Not the fans' choice. Sprewell makes a nice grab. Loses the ball, regains, stumbles, flings it back. Avery Johnson. Johnson stutter steps baseline. Tight ropes the baseline, flings it to Mullen.
Chris Mullen.
Mullen wasn't sure where the defense would be. He thought about a little pass out to Spree at the 3-point line. And while he's in the air, he says, okay, I think I can launch.
Stolen and stolen by Scott, where Sprewell had that for a split second. Now here's Turner. Back to Anderson. 14-point Warrior deficit, 9.5.
Now Weber, his regular matchup right now. Nice defense by Avery Johnson. He's going to get a layup if the ball were thrown far enough.
Johnson battling with Scott, but Scott wins it. Now Anderson down to Shaquille O'Neal with the finish.
32, Shaquille O'Neal.
They try it again. This time it works.
And Avery Johnson, no, Dennis Scott goes flying into the expensive seats. Warriors are just getting out physical here.
And that's where Avery, by the way, could have used a left-hand reverse layup rather than the right.
O'Neal with the jump hook, boxing out nicely was Weber. Flying over O'Neal, look away to Billy Owens. O'Neal goes down.
Scott Skiles goes down. It was a flop at the free throw line, but the Warriors still down by 14. They've got to stop the Magic.
Bodies flying everywhere. 101-87. Owens has 18. Now there's a foul
Number 6, Avery
on Johnson.
That's his first personal.
His
Warriors'
first non-shooting.
foul of the period.
Dennis Scott. Whoops. Skiles slipping on a wet spot. Creates the 3-on-1. And the foul on Dennis Scott as he fouls Mullen.
Number 3, Dennis Scott, first personal.
That's his first.
Second team foul.
I think there's a little bit of rivalry between, as you watch Skiles just slip down. That's a wet spot on the floor, but Dennis Scott, Chris Mullen, I don't think are off-court buddies. You just get that feeling.
Well, Mullen remaining composed nonetheless and just walking up to the foul line, not going for a double-double with 10 assists. His high this year is 11. But it has not been a shooting night for Chris Mullen. 5 for 12, just not getting the setups and the screens. 101-89. Magic. Here's Shaquille posting on Weber. 7'1", 300 pounds. Owens has it. Sprewell. Back to Weber.
There's an Anthony Hardaway play from Sprewell. I think he's learned something. Tremendous play to take 2 defenders away.
Timeout Orlando. And the Warriors within 10. They've cut it from 16. 7:56 to go in the fourth. Crowd going wild. Tonight's scores around the league brought to you by Great Western's family of companies. $38 billion strong. New Jersey over the Clippers 105-102. Kenny Anderson 25. Charlotte demolishes Philly. But watch this score. How do they look? Unbelievable.
Indiana only 61, and Cleveland, who had lost 5 in a row. Now New York, that's their 10th straight win. They're the hottest team in the league, and they keep doing it with defense.
And they keep teams under 90. Minnesota beats Houston. How about that score? 83-81. And Stacey King had 19 points, 13 rebounds. Miami losing to Phoenix in overtime, and there is Seattle leading San Antonio in the fourth. Right now, as you see, Sacramento leading Portland in the third quarter. Here's some action with Latrell Sprewell leading the way.
Just gets his steps together, takes away Scott and Nick Anderson, and Weber wipes up clean.
Gorgeous feed to the trailer, Chris Weber. So the Warriors showing some spark. They're down by 10. Steal by Billy Owens all over Turner.
Push it up before O'Neal gets back. He converted back with transition.
Weber turns on O'Neal. Weber trying to force it up. Blocked by O'Neal, out of bounds to the Warriors. 14 seconds on the shot clock. O'Neal staying right with the rookie.
Well, Hardaway's put on a show tonight.
So is
Chris
Weber.
Weber, 9 for 10. Is that efficient? 6 dunks.
Sprewell digs in on Anderson.
He made it look easy.
Well, he get the big step there.
Weber's got number 4. Actually, he's done pretty well to avoid it up until this point.
He had 3 in the first period. And it will put Hardaway on the line for the first time tonight, shooting 73%.
That play just illustrates, Steve, why it's so important to stop the the ball, you know, when it comes over half court. Don't let a guy get up ahead of steam and put all the pressure on the big guys waiting for him inside.
Hardaway 1 of 2. Hardaway with 16 points and the season high 14 assists. 102-93, 9-point lead. Tough pass handled by Owens. Owens shaking people loose left and right and hits.
He's had a tremendous second half. Great third quarter, came out with a bad ankle. But he has been maybe, if not the best, right there with Weber.
Jim, he's 8 for 10. 20 points. Warriors shooting 53%. 7-point game. Mullen tying up his man. He tied up Hardaway, and Hardaway's hurt. Anthony Hardaway may have had a finger jammed. Meanwhile, the foul.
Now, this is interesting.
On Scott Dennis.
See, Mullen was not shooting. I know Hardaway's hurt. But Mullen will not go to the line. He had a layup, but he dropped it back.
Meanwhile, Scott Skiles gets up with Hardaway shaken up.
Let's see what happens. Mullen reaches in. Mullen slaps the ball away, but he does get part of the wrist. Watch the finish of the play. See, Mullen drops the ball back. So therefore, the foul on Scott. And now Mullen's got the tee. He wanted to go to the line.
I think he's throwing him out now. I was shielded by Don Nelson, and I believe Mauer threw him out. Well, let's wait on that.
And the second technical has been called on Warrior.
It's been Don Nelson thrown out. Don Nelson was ejected. So Mullen stays.
Scott Skiles, meanwhile, was on the line. Joe DeRosa gave him the ball. He simply threw it back to him until the crowd calms down. But Skiles at 89%.
Listen to the hand for Don Nelson, ejected for the first time this year. Ken Mauer doing the deed.
That may be the first time in history. With Steve Javie on the floor, Nelson gets ejected, but not by Steve Javie.
You know, you only get me in trouble when you say that, right?
I mean,
I'm not going to say anything about that, but here's Mullen's little debate with Ken Mauer, and then Don Nelson, Jim, gets into it, and then Nelly will get the gate.
no, I'm not saying anything against Javie. I'm just saying those are the percentages. It seems like it's Javie that always throws him out. Oh, there it goes.
There, now you get a great angle. We didn't have that angle. Initially, we thought Mullen was hit with the two.
Don Nelson was coming back to back up his star player, Chris Mullen. He was upset that he got the tee.
So Don Nelson ejected for the first time this year. Greg Popovich will take over. Mullen showing his disgust, sitting right in front of us.
Talking to Dave Del Grande, Chuck Varney, and the rest of the press corps.
He's got the ear of the journalists.
I don't think Steve would be upset with that comment about he's on the floor, but he's not the guy that tossed him.
What's going to happen? He's going to see the tape and throw you out of the next game.
I think they've done actually a tough game to call. I think they've done a superb job. And I don't know what Mullen was upset about, but that was a proper call because he did drop the ball back.
All right. The officials have had their little conference. Steve Javie explaining things to Greg Popovich. And Steve Javie says to Pop, thanks, it was a good point. And it will be Warriors ball. They are down 104-95. Orlando, 6:38 to go in the fourth. Here's Sprewell posting up against Anderson. And the reach-in foul.
Number 25.
Nick Anderson, his second.
Nick Anderson, second personal foul.
It'll be a non-shooting situation.
Sprewell tries to get to the middle. If he'd ever get a little reverse drop-step baseline move, he'd be home free. There it is.
He goes baseline, tries to kiss it off the glass, and Anderson cradles the ball. Down to Scott. Scott immediately picked up by Mullen. Mullen going for the steal. Had it, but it was out of bounds. Mullen with those super instincts. Almost picked them clean. Fans still booing.
You've got to have those kind of skill to let a man go around you and reach from behind and have that kind of confidence.
Indeed. Here's Anderson. Good ball movement over to Turner. He has killed the Warriors here.
He is a very solid player. He knows the game. He knows his limitations, doesn't try to do too much, but when he has some daylight, he can stroke it.
12 points, 10 boards. The ball fake and the runner by Avery Johnson. So the Warriors reply quickly.
Avery Johnson.
But time becoming a factor. 5:50 to go. Warriors get it back on the travel. Scott Skiles with the turnover. And the Warriors down 9 with the ball.
And what they don't need right now, any more stoppage of play. Technical fouls. I think Brian Hill's done a good job stopping runs with timeouts, so you can't avoid that, but just keep playing.
The Warriors without their coach, Don Nelson, ejected with 2 technicals. Here's Avery Johnson, gets the step on Skiles, flings it into the corner, Spree for 3! And the ball tipped by Owens as Sprewell was going for it. Nick Anderson rescues it. Down to Skiles. Skiles with the look away over to Scott. Scott back to Anderson, nearly picked off. And they settle down. Turner for 3. In and out. Oh, Scott Skiles got it away from Chris Webber. He can't connect. Mullen, the outlet down to Johnson. Avery Johnson to Webber. The finger all goes. Oh, they're going to wipe it out. Offensive foul. Offensive foul on Webber in his 5th. And now listen to this crowd. Sprewell argues the call with Kenny Maurer.
Scott Skiles had a couple of words with Chris Webber. Turner, once again, does a good job. You know, you can call it. Sometimes you let it go.
Now, this is where the fans turn ugly, throwing coins onto the floor, which could be very, very dangerous.
Tough to make that kind of call, though, when you got a 3-on-1 or a 3-on-2 and the offense has the advantage. And he was right at the hoop.
Well, one fan in the face of Ken Maurer. Here's Hardaway.
Webber had to let him go.
108-97. Orlando, exactly 5 minutes to go in the 4th. Sprewell. And it counts. A chance for 3.
That is a super effort, Steve. Using the body and cradling with the left hand to make sure he gets it up. Watch Sprewell lean in to Nick Anderson to get the ball, give him some room, and he gets the bounce. Great crossover move. Picks it up at the right time. I'll tell you that. He makes it look easy. It takes a lot of hard work to be able to control it in that situation.
Number 3 on Hardaway. Sprewell completes the 3-point play. A testy environment. You see Greg Popovich taking over for Don Nelson. 8-point game. Nick Anderson has to fan dribble away from Mullen. Now he gets inside, slices through and puts it in. What a move by Nick Anderson. 13 for Anderson off from the field. 10-point lead for the Magic.
Webber having to scrape some coins off the floor.
Well, that's one person who doesn't have to pick it up and put it in his pocket. Here's Avery Johnson. Webber up high, bounces it into Latrell Sprewell with Anderson. Sprewell trying to take over here, and he gets it to go again. Sprewell's got 23 now, and the Warriors again with an 8, but they can't get over the hump. 4:20 to go. Anthony Hardaway, the lob to Dennis Scott. Scott the lob to Shaquille O'Neal. He's double-teamed. Hardaway with Mullen. Back to Shaquille O'Neal, the leader. You talk about an explosive move, plus the foul.
And is it on Avery or is it on Webber? They call it on the guard.
His second. Webber with 5 fouls. And O'Neal will go to the line. The man with the sideburns.
When you see a pump fake by Shaquille, he generally turns and goes the opposite direction. And he knows that Webber's got the 5 fouls. He's going to try to use that to his advantage.
And he has shot well from the line, 72% his last 3, although he misses that one. Sprewell chases it down. The Warriors down by 10, 4 minutes remaining. A cutting Sprewell going for the dunk, and he's fouled by O'Neal. That's his 5th.
Fearless. He is simply fearless.
The way to describe Sprewell.
Go in there and leave your body hanging. Very vulnerable.
He's so rubbery, he can get the job done. 3 for 3 from the line. And misses.
Watch Sprewell come right at Shaquille. And he goes up for a thunderous dunk. And He is leaving himself very vulnerable when he raises and rises like that. Just, as I say, fearless. That's the word.
He's got 24 now. The Warriors down by 9. 3:53 left in the fourth. Owens beats Turner at half court. Anderson to O'Neal. O'Neal with Weber. 10 on the shot clock. Help up by Sprewell. Cross court to Scott. Scott gets into the paint. Gives it off to Shaquille. Too strong. The follow though by Scott. Oh, is that a killer? 114, 103, 3:30 to go. Magic by 11. The quick release, Mullen. Mullen has had a quiet night. He's got 15. Quiet from a shooting standpoint. He does have 11 assists. Warriors down by 9. 3:14. Time really becoming a factor now. Stolen by Weber. He anticipated that pass by O'Neal. Down it goes to Johnson. One hands it up. Too strong. Whacked away by Scott. Recovered by Johnson. He'll stop and pop. And the Warriors down 7. The fans haven't given up yet. 3 minutes to go. Here's O'Neal. They double him. Hardaway for 3. No. Way off. Mullen down to Johnson. Warriors on the fly. Ball fake up and in. It's a 5-point game. Timeout Orlando. Jim, tonight's close shave of the game right here. And this is what really got everybody hepped up here at the Coliseum Arena. And it led to Don Nelson's ejection.
Well, the non-call on Turner, and then the ball goes off Johnson. So Avery doesn't get 2 free throws. The Warriors have another turnover, and Nelly gets his first tee, which proved to be very, very critical.
And it proved to be our Schick close shave of the game. Schick, we're changing the face of shaving. Orlando was up 101-85 with 9 minutes to go. 16-point Bulls. It's to 5 now. 114, 109, 2.5 to go. Orlando ball. 10 on the shot clock. Here's Nick Anderson.
He's tough in this position.
Out to Hardaway. 5 on the shot clock. Stripped by Mullen. Mullen made the steal. Here's Sprewell. He'll wait. Stutter steps past Scott. Over to Weber. Weber puts it up and in. Plus the foul.
Now that's a reverse lay-in. And Shaquille is gone.
Number 6 on O'Neal.
Mullen strips, gets control. Sprewell, great hesitation and explode. Watch Weber. And O'Neal fouls him. And using the glass, using the rim.
O'Neal fouls out with 29 points and 2:12 to go. He also had 12 rebounds. Shaquille O'Neal is gone, and yes, Chris Weber with reason to smile. Look at these numbers. But clutch, too. Big-time baskets when the Warriors sorely needed it. Warriors within 3.
O'Neal only 4 rebounds in the second half. Weber only 5 in the game.
Chris Weber, who picked up 3 fouls in the first quarter. And Shaquille O'Neal is history.
And you talked earlier about the free throw that Gatling did not tip in, but they said he interfered. Took it away from Billy Owens. That was 1 point.
I mentioned that.
And then Avery Johnson didn't get the 2. You're talking about a tie game.
I said at the time, remember that basket. Just under 2 minutes. Warriors down by 3.
Plenty of time. They do have a foul to give. They've got 1 foul to give. If a guy goes to the hoop, grab him.
Here's Anderson. Inside. Got it. At the buzzer. Beat the clock. Nick Anderson got that one to roll home.
You don't want to give up an interior shot. Somebody that goes all the way to the rim.
Orlando by 5. 1:40 to go. Oh, what a pass. Mullen, and the foul on Anderson as he sends Weber flying. Nick Anderson with the foul. Third. And Chris Weber took a dive out of bounds.
Perfect pass by Mullen. I don't think there's anybody in the league does this better. And Weber not only got fouled with the arm, but looked like he got his feet tangled up. critical free throws.
And after missing 6 in a row from the line, he comes back to hit. Makes it a 4-point game. Makes it a 3-point game. 116-113.
Plenty of time. No need to panic.
25 for Weber, 10 for 12 from the floor.
Tough matchup for Avery Johnson. They may just post Hardaway.
Shaquille O'Neal is out. He fouled out. Here's Dennis Scott. Shot clock is down to 5. Scott with Mullen. The force, no. Pulled in by Anderson. And timeout Orlando.
Timeout.
Greg Popovich upset at that. But the big picture, what a different story. Warriors down 3, 106 to go. 106 on the clock. The Warriors with, I guess you could say, a magical comeback here. After trailing by 16, they are within 3 points.
Watch Sprewell on this free throw. Weber makes it, but this is what Michael Jordan did a few years ago. It's proved successful. In fact, Sprewell got a basket off it in New York, Madison Square Garden. He picked off a missed free throw and put it right back in.
Interesting over there at the Warrior bench, Tim Hardaway in the ear of Greg Popovich seems to be giving him advice. But Chris Webber has been quite the story here. 25 points on 10 for 12 shooting, 5 rebounds. The Warriors have not led since about 2 minutes into the game when it was 6-5. They have an opportunity to do it here. Here's the timeout situation. Warriors have the upper hand. 116, 113 Magic. Orlando ball at midcourt, 106 remaining. Dennis Scott into Nick Anderson.
Remember, they've got a foul to give, but then you'll get a new 24-second clock. But don't give anybody a layup.
Turner tied up by Weber. They want walking, and they get it anyway. It's a moot point, but it's Chris Webber who saves that loose ball. Avery Johnson sets it up. Warriors can come to within 1 or tie it here with a 3. Webber, plenty of time. 10 on the shot clock. Here's Sprewell, rejected. Sprewell out to Johnson. Here it is. 1-point game.
No fouls. You'll get it back if you clear the defensive rebound. They'll get it at half court, the Magic will, after the timeout.
Timeout, Magic. 30.4 seconds on the clock. Avery Johnson hits the 15 to 18 footer and puts the Warriors to within 1.
Great defense by Nick Anderson on Sprewell. Big time play. Spree comes right back, gets it to the middle, avoids Penny Hardaway, and what a clutch jumper from Avery Johnson. Avery with 12.
Here's the conference that includes Tim Hardaway, Greg Popovich, young Don Nelson, Paul Pressey, and Tim Hardaway. And Hardaway very involved.
Well, all they got to do is play good D like they've done the last couple of sequences. Even the time Nick Anderson ran it down in the corner, Mullen did a great job on Dennis Scott. You want to do that kind of defense, then you want to get the rebound and call a timeout. It's a different story with this man on the bench.
Shaquille O'Neal fouling out with 29 points on 12 for 19 from the field, 12 rebounds and 4 assists. And we are at 30.4 seconds to go. The Warriors down by 1. It will be Orlando ball at half court when they resume. 116 to 115. The Magic, they've led virtually all the way. Their biggest lead, 16. The Warriors 7-3 in games decided by 3 points or less. We'll see if that holds true tonight, if they can continue with their success. Sprewell, Johnson, Owens, Mullen, and Webber. Webber playing with 5 fouls, 25 points on 10 for 12, 5 rebounds. And now they have to rely on their defensive prowess to try and get it back.
Well, if the Magic puts up an early shot, you see their record in close games. maybe you don't call timeout, you just run it down. Wouldn't it be great to finish with a 1-point win?
Weber steals the ball, recaps it though, loose ball, it's Johnson. Johnson puts it up, it is no good. What a rebound, Owens scored! Owens scored and the Warriors lead. 20 seconds to go.
And they've got a foul to give. I hope they remember.
It is Bedlam here, and Sprewell remembered the foul on Hardaway. Latrell Sprewell with his second.
Warriors first in the last 2 minutes.
You'd like him to run off a few more seconds before you use that foul, Steve.
Warriors lead at 12.7 seconds. Billy Owens with the twister. Here's Turner. Into Scott. Scott with Mullen. Makes the move. 8 seconds. Puts it up. No! Weber rejects. Taken by Owens. 4 seconds. 3, 2, 1. It's over! What a comeback! And the Warriors win! Big argument at half court, saying it was interference at the other end. Orlando is claiming interference, but look at this celebration. Popovich being hugged. Don Nelson must be going wild in the locker room right now. Meanwhile, the conference continues rather vehemently at midcourt. Shaquille O'Neal in the middle of things. Anthony Hardaway. And now Brian Hill and Bob Hill trying to break it up. Jim, they're upset. They thought somebody was up in the cylinder.
Well, the shot went up. And you see Hardaway spitting on the floor. The shot went up. Weber did not get there first. He had a long way to come. Watch this shot by Dennis Scott. I'll tell you, it's very close. And it could have gone either way. And I would not have been surprised had they called goaltending. It's a judgment call.
Warriors won.
It's over. It's official. How ironic after the Warriors were bickering. The call goes against the Orlando Magic in that it was a non-call. The Warriors finish with a 14-2 run over the last 3:22 to steal this victory from the Orlando Magic. What a dramatic, compelling, stirring finish for the Golden State Warriors. Unbelievable. Final score, Warriors 117, Magic 116. We'll be back in a moment. Conclusion is the Warriors come from behind to beat Orlando 117-116. Just an unbelievable finish. Billy Owens with that twisting lay-in that provided the victory. He is our Old Spice player of the game. Good all-around effort, 22 points, 8 rebounds, 7 assists. He shot 9 for 11 and does indeed provide the game-winning shot. What an amazing night, and really appropriate because they honored one of the great teams of San Francisco Warrior history at halftime, the 63-64 club led by Wilt Chamberlain and Al Attles and Nate Thurman, coached by Alex Hannum, the team that beat the St. Louis Hawks in the finals of the Western Division, lost in 5 to Boston. So those in attendance here tonight from that team saw a thriller tonight. The dramatic conclusion with seconds remaining. There's that defensive effort by Chris Webber. Orlando was claiming it should have been interference, goaltending, but the Warriors bring it down and run out the clock. This last basket by Latrell Sprewell does not count. As you can see, it came just a hair after time ran out. The Warriors, though, win it 117-116. Unbelievable. Really an incredible finish. Let's go over to Jim Barnett.
All right, thank you very much, Steve. Spree, it doesn't count, the last dunk, but I don't think you mind.
No, I don't. It was a great comeback for us. We played hard, we fought hard, and it was tough.
Down 101-85. Don Nelson gets kicked out of the game. Things aren't going your way, but you guys just kept battling. Did you feel a little more relief when Shaquille O'Neal fouled out?
I think the crowd got into it when he fouled out, and that kind of got us going because everybody in the stands was up on their feet and cheering for us. I think that motivated us a little bit.
Let's talk about the steal in the closing minutes.
Well, what can I say? It was just a great read by Webb, and he even got on the floor a little bit after, and AJ came and helped him, and after that, he just knocked. I guess Billy actually pushed a little, got away with a little foul, and and banked it in, so it was a great shot for us.
I'm not sure that Billy Owens has ever had a bigger offensive rebound in his night, but that gives the Warriors the 1-point lead. And that came after you had made a play. Nick Anderson blocked your shot. You got it back. You came to the middle and gave it to Avery, and he knocked it down. It kind of exemplifies the whole game. You just stayed with the whole sequence. Yeah,
well, we had to. You know, we're down, we're scrapping, and we're fighting, playing hard, and, you know, we had to do what we had to do. 9
games in a row here at home, and now you've got Milwaukee coming in, San Antonio this week. But you have time to relish this one. I mean, this was an incredible, maybe the most exciting comeback victory of the year here at the Coliseum.
Yeah, I think it was, and no question about it to me. After being down like that and being able to come back and win says a lot about our team.
Talk about Anthony Hardaway, and you were matched up early in the game against him, and it seemed like you guys never really got the Warriors any kind of offensive rhythm, but Hardaway, what a fabulous player. The shot that he made off the backboard in the first half, yeah. He can do so many things.
Yeah, he can. He's a great leaper. He has a little touch out there, but his thing is driving, getting to the basket and creating for Shaq or creating something for himself. But he struggles a little going right, so we try to make him go right as much as possible, stay on his left hand and keep him from going left.
Now, Webber hit a few clutch free throws tonight. One play you did in New York, you came from the top of the circle to get a missed free throw and convert on the basket. You did it tonight later in the game, but Billy Owens, or Chris Webber made the basket. You did not have to do it, but you had the inside position.
Well, I was there just in case he missed it. I was going to try to tip it in or get a rebound or something, but I'm glad he made the shot.
All right, congratulations, Latrell. Exciting game, not only for yourselves, but the fans and the announcers as well. Back to you, Steve.
Yes, indeed. Thank you very much, Jim. The Warriors down 101-85 with 9 minutes to go, down 11 with 3:32 left. Come from behind. You hear the fans paying tribute to Latrell Sprewell. Many of the fans here refuse to leave. They just are so taken by this comeback as the Golden State Warriors come from behind to win 38-27, 22-10 at home, make it 9 straight at home. They beat the Orlando Magic. That'll do it. Final score once again in dramatic come-from-behind fashion. The Warriors 117, the Magic 116. Back Thursday at 7:30 with more exciting NBA action when the Warriors match up against the Milwaukee Bucks. Greg brings you all the latest Warrior updates and more with Warriors warm-up beginning at 7. The executive producer of